everyone, welcome to this edition of The Tape. I'm your host as always, Kendrick Dix here on this Thursday, February 18, 2021. Here on The Tape, the hub of pop culture, the weekly events of pop culture, and entertainment moments as well. But first things first, join in the conversation using the hashtag TapeHeroConnect, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on The Tape. Like I said, it's Thursday, and you know what that means? It's The Tape, the hub of pop culture. Let's get started with the big story. The big story this week is Justin Timberlake. Yes, Grammy Award singer Justin Timberlake made headlines this week after he said sorry to pop stars Britney Spears and Janet Jackson for different different situations that happened way back in the past. Well, let's clear it up and see what Justin is talking about with this.
I can't wait to get you on. Overnight, a surprise apology from pop superstar Justin Timberlake, admitting he failed fellow superstars Britney Spears and Janet Jackson. Timberlake posting on Instagram Friday, "I am deeply sorry for the times in my life where my actions contributed to the problem, where I spoke out of turn or did not speak up for what was right," saying, "I specifically want to apologize to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson both individually because I care for and respect these women, and I know I failed." The apology referring to incidents taking place almost 20 years ago and addressing both misogyny and racism following years of criticism for cultural appropriation. And prompted in part by the fallout after the recently released New York Times documentary Framing Britney Spears that takes a closer look at her conservatorship and the way she has been treated by others in her career.
Justin sort of made it seem, rightly or wrongly, like she had cheated on him. It really seemed like he took control of the narrative.
Is this how we say goodbye? Spears and Timberlake famously becoming one of pop music's biggest couples in the late 90s and splitting in 2002. No chance. Timberlake releasing the video for his chart-topping hit Cry Me a River, painting Spears as a heartbreaking cheater. And then there was the infamous 2004 Super Bowl halftime show. Timberlake taking the stage with Janet Jackson, it all ending with a wardrobe malfunction and an FCC investigation. Jackson allegedly banned from other appearances and removed from projects. In 2018, Timberlake was welcomed back onto the Super Bowl halftime stage.
They looked at the bad person. He was almost the victim. He sold a lot of albums and capitalized off of it, but these women had to defend themselves, and they publicly really suffered image repercussions.
Timberlake adding that his apology is part of a larger conversation and vows to do better. He writes, "The industry is flawed. It sets men, especially white men, up for success."
Timberlake says that he apologized to Britney Spears for causing her all the mental distress, as well as Janet Jackson. Who can recall when Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake were a young couple dating, both in the highlight of their careers, and now both of them kind of like at the tail end of their careers. They're not making the music they used to make. But Britney Spears going through her mental issues, and a lot of her fans trying to free her from a conservatorship. And Justin's issue with Janet Jackson. Who can remember back in the Super Bowl when Justin and Janet performed, and Justin almost showed Janet's nipplegate, if you know what I mean by that. Well, Janet Jackson I think Britney Spears and Janet Jackson kind of did say in the past they forgive him. He didn't forgive himself. But Justin Timberlake, big story on that he says, "I'm sorry for being immature and being misogynistic." But hey, here's what it is. What do you people think out there? Do you think Justin Timberlake's being is he sincere or he's not sincere on what he did way in the past? You just let us know on the tape here. Alright, in celebrity news, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced they are expecting their second kid. Yes, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle already have a first child with Archie, and Meghan Markle talked about her struggles with this.
Tonight, big baby news for Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Sharing this photo, smiling at each other, Meghan hand on her baby bump. A spokesperson confirming Archie is going to be a big brother. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are overjoyed to be expecting their second child.
Today's announcement hits quite a few firsts. Not only will this be the first American royal baby, but also one of the first royal babies to be born in the US. We have a very transatlantic royal family.
News of that child that would be 8th in line to the throne coming just 2.5 months after Markle revealed the couple suffered a miscarriage. In a New York Times op-ed writing, "I knew as I clutched my firstborn child that I was losing my second. Hours later, I lay in the hospital bed holding my husband's hand. I tried to imagine how we'd heal."
Yeah, after the difficulties that Meghan faced in the closing of 2020, this is a great start to 2021 for her.
Okay, sorry that Meghan Markle talked about her struggles with miscarriages. Now her and Prince Harry and Archie now will add another member to the royal family. They said that this could be the first American-born baby in the British throne. Wow. And saying this person, whenever this unborn kid is born, could run for president. Wow. There's a lot of firsts here in the United States and in Europe. That could be a possibility. It could happen. But we just have to wait and see on that. And then they say that Oprah will get the first interview on March 7th. She on CBS. So Oprah will interview Prince Harry and Meghan. And you know Oprah lives next door to them. All she gotta do is just take her camera crew herself over across next door and interview the Prince Harry and Meghan and the baby. You know they're gonna show the baby. It's just a gift. You know they're gonna be a 90-minute special. Come on. Also, speaking of other celebrity news, Dr. Dre has a new woman. Man, you won't believe who the new woman is. Take a look. Yes, it's April Jones. April Jones from Love and Hip Hop. You know, Omarion's baby mother. Yes, a former wife of Omarion is now dating Dr. Dre. Let's just hope April Jones get her act together and not try to erupt Dr. Dre. He's old now. And he's already talking with his old mistress, his old wife, talking about alleged mistresses. I hope April just don't get herself into that. But April's frenemy rival, whatever you want to call it, Monique Slaughter, said that Dr. Dre tried to threaten her over April. Take a look.
You don't call me. And I know they're watching this live. I know they're watching this live. How dare you? How dare you send a nigga to bang my motherfucking line and threaten me? I don't care who you think you are. I don't care who the world has told you you are. I don't know you, and you don't know me, and I didn't say anything negative about you, sir. Bitch, wrong move, motherfucker. Suck my dick. You're done. I fucking recorded both conversations. You're fucked up the ass. You thought that aneurysm fucked you up? I'm the aneurysm, bitch. Nicole's not the aneurysm. I'm the fucking aneurysm. I'm the reckoning. I'm the Grim Reaper around this. You fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked all the way up. And tell your bitch I still want the fucking fade. Yes. Yes, I recorded it. Talk to everybody. Because the gag is, there's a lot that I could have said and still could say that I haven't said. And I could have said it a long time ago when she was running her mouth about it and people that know I don't fuck with the bitch were hitting me with the tea. I could have put that out ages ago.
Wow. On these sides, this should be a new storyline, Love Hip Hop. LA, Hollywood, whatever you want to call it. Put Dr. Dre on there. Dr. Dre, you know he ain't gonna be on there. He already known as a woman beater with Miss Chalet and his ex-wife coming up. His estranged wife, so there's a lot going on. I tell you. Ugh. Alright. On talk shows this week. On the Wendy Williams show, Blac Chyna, yes, Blac Chyna, reality star Blac Chyna, and everything else about Blac Chyna, stopped by Wendy to talk about, to clear up the rumors about her relationships, her tumultuous relationship with her mom and her baby daddies, Tyga and Blac Chyna. And even stopped Wendy and botched him up with this.
I mean, listen, I mean, it's nothing for me to really say. I can't like change anybody. I feel like, you know, my mom, she's set in her ways, and I can't like really dwell on anything in the past. You know what I mean? I just have to focus on like my kids and like my career and the things that I have coming up, and just remain positive and like prayed up. That's honestly like, that's just like only thing that's on my mind, really.
Kardashian, how are you guys co-parenting?
It's doing good. It's doing well. You know, Valentine's Day just passed, and he sent like a really pretty like heart bouquet for Dreamy. So like everything's good. We're in a positive space.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Does he send you child support?
No, not at all. Yeah, I don't get any child support from neither one of my children's fathers.
King's father's name is
Tyga.
Tyga, right. Tyga doesn't send you child support either?
No, you know what? I mean, I feel like, no, to answer your question, but I feel like if they doing their part on their end and I'm doing mine, that's perfectly fine. And I think that that's co-parenting, you know? And that's just that. You know, I work every day and I bust my tail to make sure that my kids are good, stable, house over, you know, a roof over their head, activities, of course, and just everything.
Yeah, you saw right there Blac Chyna feeling real good. She feeling like she's on top of the world. Blac Chyna being Blac Chyna, but the same thing with the issue is Blac Chyna just doing her thing, and then she's trying to self-promote and trying to do a cooking show. Didn't know Blac Chyna can cook. You know, there they go. All right. On The View this week, the women of The View interviewed Stacey Plaskett. Now, she's the woman who wanted to oust President Trump and try to get him impeached and not him run again. Well, let's hear what the women of The View asked the Congress representative from Jamaica, the Virgin Islands, this.
Of course, it was heartbreaking for all of us. You don't go into a battle thinking that you're going to lose. And we really were purposeful, all of the impeachment managers, in speaking to all 100 senators. We weren't just trying to get the Democrats and 17 Republicans. We wanted to win everyone. And so I think that's what you saw in not just the passion, but the meticulous nature, the surgical precision that we tried to utilize in making the case through overwhelming evidence, through demonstrative evidence throughout that time period. You know, I think at the end, what we can say is that this was, as you said, the most bipartisan impeachment of a president. It was also the largest majority of votes by the Senate for the conviction of the president as well. And so I think what we have shown to the world is that the American process works. What our founding fathers created, it continues to work, and that we are standing up for our democracy. And what we outlined, I believe, for the American people will ensure that President Trump would never be elected again to any public office should he run.
So right there, Plaskett vowed that Trump will never be elected ever again, despite the impeachment acquittal. Some of the Republicans kind of felt like Trump was going to bastard them down the road and try to take their seats away from them, because Trump is now was the head of the Grand Old Party, and now he still is behind the scenes. You just don't know, with Donald Trump at the helm of the Republican Party. All right, we'll be back with more Take. Don't go anywhere. This is the Take here on Connect TV. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Take. I'm your host as always, Kid Dix here. Glad you're here on the Take. Join us here on the Take. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Take here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. The Take is the hub of pop culture. And you know what that means. It's Thursday night. Thursday night is Take. So, hey, let's get back with more Take on the political rundown. The political rundown this week. The Republicans did do something saving President Trump from a grand acquittal. We talked about before the commercial that President Trump now could run for president again after they say he incited the Capitol riots allegedly, but President Trump did make some incitements about it. Well, let's look back at this whole impeachment trial as former President Trump got acquitted. This.
It was the most bipartisan presidential impeachment verdict in American history. And tonight, the fallout is swift. The 7 Republicans who voted to convict a president of their own party,
he is hereby acquitted of the charge,
now feeling the heat. In Louisiana, the state GOP party wasting no time, immediately censuring Senator Bill Cassidy just moments after he declared Donald Trump guilty.
Mr. Cassidy. Mr. Cassidy. Guilty.
A Republican state lawmaker tweeting, "Don't expect a warm welcome when you come home to Louisiana."
I'm attempting to hold President Trump accountable. And that is the trust I have from the people that elected me. And I am very confident that as time passes, people will move to that position.
During the closing arguments, Cassidy passed a note to Senator Richard Burr, leaning back and nodding in agreement. He voted guilty too. The Republican Party in his home state of North Carolina calling his vote shocking and disappointing. And in Pennsylvania, the GOP chair calling Senator Pat Toomey's decision a disappointment. Toomey and Burr both choosing not to run for re-election, stepping down at a time when their party is divided over its future. But most Republicans standing by the former president. The House managers today blasting the 43 who spared Trump from conviction.
A number of them, including Senator McConnell, are aggressively trying to disentangle themselves from the vote.
Minority Leader Mitch McConnell delivered a blistering speech on the Senate floor, eviscerating Trump, saying there is no question he is to blame for the violence on January 6th, and defending his vote to acquit, saying the trial he delayed until Trump left office was unconstitutional.
President Trump is still liable for everything he did while he was in office. Didn't get away with anything yet.
And sorry there, President Trump mum's the word. He may want to run again, but he'll be in his 80s. Why would a man in his 80s still want to run? Is he competent enough to run again? Is he, because last time he was running down, way before he did his first run, he did it to attack Barack Obama and try to get at him, and now he prepared himself to run again. But you never know. If Joe Biden politics doesn't work this time, then they might want to get Trump back in there again. You never know with some of these folks. These folks are committed. They're going to be planning. I'm telling you, they're going to be planning going forward. I'm telling you. All right. On the reality show clip down this week. All right. Mo growing concerns and calls asked to get Bachelor host Chris Harris to resign from the show. Now, we talked about it this week on Viral. Watch Viral on the archives. We talked about Chris Harris. We gave an in-depth insight on Chris Harris saying racial comments and defending them, and a lot of people are looking sideways at him, looking for that. Well, Heather Martin, with Chris Harris going on, is a lot. But watch Viral. But meanwhile, on The Bachelor, Heather Martin crashes the party, and to meet Matt, won't believe what she does. Take a look. Wow, she done all that to meet Matt. White women would do anything, I mean anything, to get to a man. They'll do anything. I'm telling you, they'll do anything. Alright, speaking of Matt, he had his bromance with Tyler. Tyler appeared on the show, and take a look at this. Bromance at its best, or bromance wins. Bromance. Might be Matt might be interested in Tyler more than the women. I'm just saying. Just keeping it real. Okay. All right. On the Real Housewives of Atlanta, The ladies are missing their children. Well, they hit a soft spot to Portia and Candy after what Kenya had took her kid along, and Kenya didn't show no sensitivity on others bringing their kids along. Take a look. Like I said, I agree with the ladies. Kenya was wrong. Kenya should have had incorporated all of them. You know, give them the option. Bring your kids. And you know, no parent want to be alone with their kids. Just weird. And I think Kenya know better. I think she's just going crazy because she's getting out this divorce and she going all overboard. Just telling you like I see it. I'm telling you. Kenya crazy. Alright. On news this week. Well, many of you saw the news as the winter storms has been coming along. They came through Texas and arrived with cold and snow and left some power outages. Let's look back at this week's with the winter storms with this.
Tonight, this unprecedented winter storm is paralyzing the South with treacherous road conditions and life-threatening cold temperatures. Now the extreme cold straining the power grid.
We're talking about millions and millions of people throughout Texas without heat today.
Power officials in Texas instituting those rolling blackouts and begging residents to conserve electricity.
It's a huge demand. And then there are a number of generation plants that have been taken offline, like your wind turbines that are frozen over.
The power is still out in this neighborhood, and look at the street lights just behind me here, off completely. It looks and feels like we're in Iowa, but this is Dallas, Texas. The temperatures have been in the teens throughout most of the day, and it won't get above freezing until later this week. Families back in Houston trying to cope.
We were under like 3 blankets last night and still very cold.
Bill Flanders using a heat blanket to try to thaw his frozen pipes.
I thought I'd drain the pipes in the attic overnight so they wouldn't freeze, but came out this morning and the supply line froze.
The strain on the power grid now affecting the entire region. Power officials now asking at least 14 more states on the same grid to start controlled rolling blackouts, something that has never happened before. The system now bringing snow to the frozen Midwest. Alex Perez in Chicago.
This is stubborn Arctic air just will not loosen its grip on the Midwest. Some people are dealing with temperatures that feel like anywhere from 30 to 50 below zero. Take a look behind me here, that field of snow. It's actually a frozen Lake Michigan blanketed with snow.
The roads treacherous across the region over the last 24 hours. In Schulenburg, Texas, a man by an SUV barely escaping being hit by a second car flying down an embankment. This pickup truck backing out of a driveway in Nashville, skating sideways on a sheet of ice. And this Nashville couple's surveillance camera capturing the moment they tumbled down icy stairs. And back in Texas, an unbelievable sight. The beach in Galveston blanketed in white, snow melting into the Gulf of Mexico.
Winter storms leaving a lot of people in Texas out with power, especially in Houston and some in Dallas. Hopefully we pray for them. We pray that they get their power back on. They won't be freezing. We saw an incident as well as a mother and daughter had died from carbon monoxide by cranking their car. That's unfortunate, but hey, winter storms, just keep the faith. That's all I say. Keep the faith. I'm praying for the folks in Texas. All right. Speaking in the more funny note, or series in this funny note, Larry King's wife, Sean, tries to contest her late husband's will after finding new information with this.
Larry King's estranged wife claims she was blindsided by his handwritten will and says she's taking her fight to court. In this legal document objecting to the will and filed today, Sean King claims she recently became aware that her husband has a secret account through which Larry would make gifts to various individuals, including more than $266,000 to Larry King Jr., his son from a previous marriage. Sean wants to recover some or all of that money. An attorney for Larry King Jr. tells us the will reflects Larry's intent to share his estate equally among his children. We have no comment as to Sean's objections. In Larry King's scrawled last will and testament made public last week, Sean King is cut out. Instead, Larry calls for 100% of his funds to be divided equally among his children. Shawn was quoted as saying she believes someone pressured Larry King to write up the new will. She says her lawyers will vigorously fight the will in court. We had a very watertight family estate plan. It still exists, and it is the legitimate will, period, she tells the New York Post. The TV legend was married to Shawn 22 years, but they were in the middle of a divorce when Larry wrote the new secret will. Last year, in his final televised interview, Larry told me what drove them apart.
From everything to child rearing to religion, we didn't get along. She's 26 years younger than me.
But she's always been 26 years younger.
Always. But now, now it hits me. I'm 86.
Now, even in death, they will have one final battle.
All right, Shawn King thinks she didn't get nothing out of the deal. She thought she can get some out of the will, but she found something, a loophole to get some money as Larry King decided not to put Shawn in the will. I guess she had a bad argument with Larry King way before he died, and Larry King said, you know what, I'm just going to leave you with nothing. And Larry King, you can tell, Larry King had money. Larry King probably had about $200 million. And doing that, sitting down, talking to regular folks on CNN, come on, Larry King had money. He just being too selfish and greedy to making a point to Shawn, his ex-wife. Lord, he gave it to his kids. When they say, when you old, you set in your ways, Larry King was that. He was set in his ways. All right, and finally, the viral video of the week. The viral video of the week. Social media star BSimone receiving more backlash. Yeah, BSimone, who's the social media star who says our wacky stuff, said this.
So, women, the animals out here.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
We're manifesting love. But here's a little challenge. We got all these things we want in a man. A list of things. He gotta be tall, he gotta be dark, he gotta be handsome, he gotta have pretty teeth, he gotta be a family man, he gotta be financially stable, he gotta be rich, he gotta be successful, he gotta be all these things. And we ain't even half the things on that list. He gotta be a family man. You ain't talked to your mama in 6 months, but you want him to be a family man. He gotta be financially stable. Your account is in the negative, ma'am. Overdraft fees. He gotta have a job. You need to go fill out some applications because you're still unemployed. He gotta have pretty teeth. You ain't seen a dentist in 6 years. He gotta have a six-pack and be in shape. You can't even walk up a flight of stairs without huffing and puffing. Get your life together. This whole list that he gotta be. You ain't even half the things on that list. So this is what I challenge you to do. So we can manifest love all 2021. Make that list of that perfect dream man that you got in your mind. Then, what I did, make a list of the type of woman he would need right by his side. You want him to be in shape? You need to get to the gym. Equally yoked. You want him to be financially stable? Well, you need to start saving because you can't keep a dime to your name. Huh? You want him to be a family man? Call your mama. You become a family woman. Heal your traumas before you put all this on him. You want him to be patient. Your patience is thin. You want him to be understanding. You the least understanding person in your circle of friends, but he gotta be understanding. Fix you. Fix you. Whatever you want, become that. He gotta be in shape. You eat chips every day. You heal. Let's become the person we want to attract. How about that? Huh? That's the challenge. These birds. I love Tulum, but my flight is today. I gotta get back to the A.
BSimone calling out women to be equally with their partners and their mates, saying if the man's making more, the woman needs to make more, the woman needs to step up her game. Like I said, I don't know about people's relationships on their social status and their class. We can't get to that. If the man's the breadwinner, that's what they say in the Bible, the man has to be the breadwinner at all time. You know, sometimes the woman is the breadwinner, but that happens, it's happenstance. But BSimone, she needs to mind her business and step out her lane. Stay in your lane and mind your business. You know just telling you, it's just trying to track somebody else's bank account and they money. You never know. They could be home housewives. You never know, BSimone. So keep your mouth shut. All right. Thank you all for watching this edition of The Tape on this Thursday, February 18, 2021. Hey, it's been a heck of a ride. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long. We'll see you next week for another edition of The Tape. See you later.